Fudge. It's not my only problem. I want to get one just off the top, just so things don't get awkward for the rest of the show. I have a neurological dysfunction. It makes it difficult for me to make eye contact in the presence of cleavage. It's called awesometism. So it's not my fault. Okay, got that off. I also have ADD. Some of you know this one. It's alcohol definitely disorder. Some people have a drinking problem. Not this guy. It's a disorder. It's not as bad. You drink too much, Steve? Nah, it's just my ADD. So when I was younger, I used to be somewhat of a social caterpillar. Even went into a little social cocoon every now and then. Just crawled in there. Then I discovered beer, and then I blossomed and bloomed into the beautiful social butterfly you see before you today. It's true, you can ask anyone here. Kylie, Jonah, I don't know these fucking people. Sorry if everything I say sounds random and disenchanted. It's because I also have the real ADD. So I had a vasectomy. You're welcome. Doing the world a favor, I think. Getting a vasectomy is neat. They told me before the procedure, these guys are into it. So yeah, get me one now. It's been recommended by a guy with a microphone. So I will get you a 3-for-1 coupon. So they told me they were going to dope me up, so I'm going to need a ride home. So I asked my best friend Rob, and his wife Nikki was there, and she said, "Wait, oh, you're getting a vasectomy? Does that mean like it's not going to work anymore?" And I said, "No, I did all the research. It's still going to work. I made sure of that. That's important to me." Because I figured I didn't want to accidentally make any more babies, but I did want to accidentally have sex again someday. That'd be okay. And she said, "Well, okay, but does it mean you can't have orgasms?" And I said, no, I still have orgasms. And she said, "Well, is there no, money shot?" And I said, "No, there's still a money shot. There's just not the part that makes babies. There's just, but there still is, so yeah." And she said, "Oh, good. It would just be weird if there was no money shot." So I said, "See, Rob, women love money." So he drove me home. He's a nice fellow. And when we got to my place, he said, "Hey, before I leave, just curious after the procedure, do you feel at all like any less of a man after this?" And I looked him square in the eye and I said, "Rob, I just paid another man $300 to cut my balls. That is straight up the most gangster shit I've ever done, son!" Now carry me to my bed. And cuddle me. So before all of that, I had 2 kids. And when my oldest son turned 12, I caught him looking up pornography on the internet. And here's the problem with that. I'm not supposed to tell him how jealous I am of him. Because when I was 12 and I wanted to look up nudity, I didn't have the internet. It didn't exist yet. I had to have a magazine. But I was 12. I wasn't allowed to buy that kind of magazine. So I had to pull off a heist. Oh yeah. And it was usually a 3-man job. All right, here's how it's going to go down, see? Because it's the past. John, you goes in first, and I want you to go straight to the chips and take your time making up your mind, for God's sakes. Here's an old-fashioned paper dollar. Next, Bill, you goes in and goes straight up to the counter to distract the shopkeep. what you're gonna do is take this bag of unmarked nickels and buy a pant load, that's in metric, penny candies, because we used to have those then. I'll be back by the magazines, and when I hears your nickels drop, I'll slips a penthouse behind a mad magazine. Then, you escapes unnoticed with the penny candies. And while the shop keeps distracted, John, you're up next. Knock a bag of chips onto the floor. And while the shop keeps looking at you, I'll slips the penthouse up my shirt and finish with my mad fold-in. Then we'll all escape out the door, we'll meet in the field and have sweet pop sandwiches. Man, see, man! Man! It's hard to stop when she's, man! The further problem is, now that we have the magazine, we can't take it home. There were 3 of us. We had to hide it in the woods. And we had to have a schedule. We didn't want to find out which one of us was gay. It's 1 in 3. It was the past. We weren't ready for acceptance and tolerance and the good things of the world. My youngest boy just also turned 12. And I'm not allowed to tell him how jealous of him I am either, because he gets to have the internet on his phone. Just this little phone full of available nudity at any time. So jealous. So I guess the moral of the story is porn in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. The further problem for me is that for my kids, looking up pornography means they know how to use technology, computers and cell phones. For me, it meant a life of crime. But it was a crime of passion. A passion for naked boobies. Thank you.